Thanks for your interest in the Velaro Engagement and Customer Data Platform. Today, we will be reviewing our NetSuite CRM integration. We will cover the agent interface for accessing customer records, search and creation of records, and the system configuration and field mapping. We will be focusing this overview on the Velaro live chat product of the Velaro Engagement and Customer Data Platform, which supports numerous ways to obtain customer data and begin an engagement. In this example, we're going to use an out-of-the-box pre-chat survey where the visitor enters their information before requesting a chat. This information can also be obtained with the Velaro bot product or passed in automatically through session variables, posting via HTML, etc. All the forms used in this overview are highly customizable and WCAG compliant. Regardless of how you decide to obtain the data, the customer information will be presented to the agent who will have access during and after the engagement. Once the visitor submits this form, Velaro will place the visitor in a queue. Velaro also has the ability to automatically assign chats to the least busy agents in a round-robin routing style. Now that we're submitted, you can see as the agent, I get an alert notifying me of the chat. We'll now switch to the agent's perspective. From the dashboard, managers and administrators can press the Engagements button to interact with any visitors that are waiting in queue. For agents, this engagement screen will be the main interface used within Velaro. As soon as the agent accepts the engagement, the visitor and agent can chat with one another. The agent can collect any relevant information about the visitor, assist with their needs, and enter their information into the CRM from this screen. Once the CRM panel is opened in Velaro Live Chat Agent View, we'll automatically search for the configured terms that were entered by the visitor in the pre-chat survey. In this case, we have set up the system to search by email. You can define any criteria or set of fields for the initial search. Search terms can also be manually entered to return search results. Here we can see 4 of the record types that are available with the NetSuite integration displayed: lead, prospect, case, and contact. We can also interact with customer, account, and sales order records from within the Velaro interface. All of these except sales orders can be created and edited in this panel as well as linked to one another. For this example, we'll open the contact and create a case to be linked to the contact record here. We can interact with any fields that we configure here from the CRM, and we can also pre-fill any data from the pre-chat survey that the visitor has already submitted, as well as any data passed in from the website as custom variables. Once the record is created, this chat is associated with that case record. By default, the Save Transcript checkbox is selected, and the transcript will automatically pass into the CRM when the chat is closed. Here in NetSuite's browser view, we can see that the case record was created under the contact. When we open the case record, we can see the fields that we configured, and then in the Files section, we can see the transcript of the engagement we just finished, saved as an attachment. Next, we'll go over the initial setup and system configuration of the integration. Velaro integrates with the NetSuite CRM at the API level, and therefore we provide you a highly configurable integration, allowing you to map all your custom fields. The interaction is fluid, with none of the constraints of an embedded HTML frame view. Most of our customers configure the integration themselves. However, Velaro does offer a white glove professional services team that can help you build out the most advanced solutions if your requirements are advanced. To access this area, we'll click on the Settings gear icon to open the Account Setup section, and then select Integrations and Configuration. Then we will see the NetSuite integration card and click Configure. Here you can see this account already has the integration enabled, so the RESTlet URL is already filled. Our NetSuite integration uses token-based authentication, and in this account, my user already has a token, so I do not need to enter my username and password to gain access. We have detailed instructions for getting your own RESTlet URL to set up the NetSuite integration on our knowledge base at help.velaro.com. Once we enter the configuration, we will see all of the system options. We can require agents to select a record to log with a transcript, allow records to be created by a Velaro bot, as well as automatically create records from submitted surveys when no agents are available to chat. This is also where we can configure which record types agents are able to create, edit, or search in the Velaro Live Chat agent interface. By default, we have 7 record types available: customer, account, case, lead, prospect, sales order, and contact, though other record types can be mapped if needed. Let's look at an existing record mapping and cover each setting available. In the left row, we can see the NetSuite CRM field names that are mapped to Velaro Live Chat. To add a new field for agents to interact with, you can select it from the drop-down in this leftmost column. In the second column, we have the label, which allows you to provide a more human-readable label for agents to see when they're interacting with records. The next column, called Link, allows us to set up the auto search and pre-fill fields. By selecting data to link to these fields, we can take advantage of information we already know about the customer, whether that's from the visitor monitoring data the Velaro platform gathers, data the visitor provided to the Velaro bot, or information from a survey that the visitor filled out. In this case, we are linking the visitor's email to our pre-chat survey questions where the visitor submits their email address. This way, when an agent creates a record for this visitor, they do not need to type the email as it will already be filled out. In these next columns, we decide what each field will be used for. If agents are expected to fill these fields out when creating a record, you can click the checkbox in the Create column. If we want Search to use that field to return results for existing records in the CRM, we will click the Search column. Email, last name, and phone number are good fields to use here as they will provide the most accurate results. The next checkbox determines which fields will appear to the agents when they have selected a record. This will show both when they select an existing record from search results, as well as after creation of a new record. The last checkbox column allows you to show that field to agents while they are viewing search results, so that agents can distinguish between any duplicate records in your CRM or see the difference between similar records. Next, we have the control column, which tells us what kind of form element to use for this, whether that's a text box, a drop-down list, or a checkbox. Usually this will be determined by default, but some custom fields may need to be identified. For certain fields, we also use lookup lists to match the behavior that shows in the CRM interface. Lastly, we have the default value, which can be set in the case that you already know what a certain field will be. In this example, I'm setting the case status to not started because I want all new cases to enter my CRM with that status. Finally, when you finish mapping all the fields and setting up your record, you can give it a name and save it. This covers the major features and functionality of the Velaro Engagement and Customer Data Platform integration with NetSuite CRM. Thank you for watching. Please send any questions to support@velaro.com or chat with us at velaro.com.